every time. Don't make sure we live when it's in. Let's see. All right. Yep, it says we live. All right, we'll be back in one moment.
We about to take this trip down to Atlanta, Georgia. This is my man, Sunday
All
Great.
in together, outlaw RBG.
And we call this track
I'm that
high-vibrational.
rich, righteous professor.
Shout out to the
Motivational
bitches.
vocal expressor.
I
Live that
see you.
universal law. I give more to the
Let's
lesser.
go.
My soul glow from them self-control. With the universal flow, explode on contenders. Knowledge unload, expose those offenders. Mileage proof and show, you should know your defender. Like them deacons with them able reason, shotgun speaking, busting evil, popping off on demons. I'ma say, assalamu alaikum, let loose, street sweeping. We freeing them poor, righteous decent. This is vintage season, they facing accountability. We achieving that divinity, receiving what we need and completing tranquility. Cultural identity, ancient validity. Commune for the unity, no stuff, see wealth, nah, nothing new to me. On my Kwame Ture, usually I'm applying that pressure to oppressor till I'm eulogy. High vibing, we still alive in them times when the sisters and brothers are straight dying, fighting for a piece of the pie in a crooked system line. Fly right high vibing. We still alive in them times when the sisters and brothers are straight dying, fighting for a piece of the pie in a crooked system line.
Let's go. Talk to him.
I'm like the training. I hear the drama from enslavement to my Umi and my Baba and Medulo Oblongata. Yeah, repayment, all you gotta. Feel the pain for the sake, name Sunjata. Hear the cleaning of the karma, claiming them sons and them daughters, feasting off the 400 years of the fears and the slaughter. I'ma turn the tables and the fables like, where's my food and water? Reclaiming resources of a true world order. We order bum rush the dough with a black fist full of dough and a list of what they owe before we exit this corruption at the core. Exodus, interruption from what's in store. So no, they don't plan to ever let us go. I come to take it any way we get it. It's legal or illegal, long as most high permitted. On my Derek Ray solution for a minute. Entrepreneurship over employment for that pivot. And we win when we never give in to they gimmicks. Oh my God, master impression, never measure my limit. Testing up the level, vibratory story on exhibit. I don't entertain the lame when I give it. I shed shame, impress oppressor when I live it. Not trying to impress the oppressor when I spit it, huh? High vibing, we still alive in them times when them
Once again, we high vibing over here.
Fight for a piece of the pie in a crooked system line.
Come on.
Fly right, high vibing. High vibing. We still alive in them times when them sisters and brothers are straight dying. Fight for a piece of the pie in a crooked system line.
Once again, log on to teamrbg.com. Buy the merch, support the movement. This the RBG Green mixtape. Shout out DJ Ironman Chris Starks. I'm your host, Siglo, aka Siglo Swag Mode. Shout out Knowledge Born from Do the Knowledge Radio. Shout out the whole Team RBG movement.
All right. Peace. Welcome back to the Warrior Scholar Show. I am Kofi. Piesie. We have a special guest in the building today. We have the high energetic, the great. Peace. Welcome to the panel, man. Could you please introduce yourself, man, for people that may not know who you are?
My pleasure. First of all, before I do that, elders in the room, may I speak?
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. My name's Sundiata Matsumosa Brown, but they call me Son the Great. Some parts of the country, they call me, Godson. But all of that put together, I'm Sundiata, Son the Great. I come from Pennsylvania, Reading 6th Ward, but I'm currently in the Atlanta area right now. And the founding member of the Ven JAH'S, the Ven JAH'S group. When you put them V's up, you hear that. That's us. And I'm just happy to be here on this wonderful show of proper propaganda. If y'all been missing the guest that he brought back in, you know what I mean, since the RBG Gumbo, since that started, and he started this segment again, man, you've been missing. Go back, check out all these other guests. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody on there got intelligence, everybody on there got skill, got talent, and they, you know, so I'm just happy to be a part of this whole conglomerate. Thank you very much for the Kofi.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so before we get into the interview, y'all know I have to, you know, I got to throw out some terms. I want to throw out what a warrior is, simple definition of what a scholar is, and then from my perspective, what a warrior scholar is, because this is the Warrior Scholar Show. So a warrior is from the Old North French warra, a warrior, a soldier, combative, one who wages war. A warrior is a person engaged or experienced in warfare broadly, a person engaged in some struggle or conflict. Scholar, a person who attends a school or studies under a teacher. A pupil, a person who has done advanced studies in a special field. A learned person, a holder of a scholarship. All right. When I put both words together, my perspective of what a warrior scholar is to me is someone who is well studied and waging war against mistruths, pseudoisms, and willing to stand on the battlefield against institutions and platforms that promote that. A warrior scholar is someone on a mission for the truth, for accurate and sound information. A warrior scholar is one who is disciplined, good character, morals, and willing to fight back against those who are using information dangerously. All right. So, and this brother is, you know, everybody that I bring on, you know, I feel like they're a warrior scholar in their own right. And when defining these words, you know, that's definitely what they is. You know what I'm saying? They're warriors on the battlefield to liberate the minds of our people. They're on the battlefield, you know what I'm saying, to educate the youth, to build the community back up, right? To set the right example, right? So these people that I bring on are definitely warrior scholars in their own right, right? So, man, let's get into it, dog. Let's get into the questions, man. Let me
I love that term too. I love that term, God. Warrior scholar, you know what I mean? I like to even say, even put it to a added part. I'm like the special forces. You know what I'm saying? Like certain rules that apply to other people, but they don't apply to me because of what I got to do and the job I got to get done. So, and I got so much energy. You know what I mean? I'm from the source. The source is, you know what I mean? So I'm on special forces from the source. You know what I mean? So that warrior scholar right there is proper in the terminology, and I did with proper propaganda, and which is why I love this show. I love what you're doing. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm happy to be a part of it, as in the river. Happy. Yeah, we're gonna keep it flowing.
For sure. So this is the Warrior Scholar Show, man. So, you know, like I said, every person that comes on the platform, I always ask, you know, this same question, man, is who are some of your warrior scholars? Can you name a few of your warrior scholars?
Yeah. There's a bunch of them though, but the first one, shout out to Mike Chambers, Mike Marvel. He just shout out, you mean Outlaw RBG, salute, Vengeance, salute. That's my brother. So peace. I always have to start off with this. My father, Samuel Brown Jr. He was the one who broke me off with the name, along with my mother. You mean they gave me my name, Sunjata Mansa Musa, all my life. And they made sure that I knew that I was an African here in this country, and then gave me the books and you know, pushed me toward gathering that knowledge. And this is before they became preachers. So I have to say, you know what I mean? But I heard you a PK too. So I'm a PK twice. You know what I'm saying? My mama and my daddy. So that's why I do what I do, y'all. You know what I mean? But I gotta always start out with my father. And then, you know, we go into Bookman. And then we go into Frederick Douglass. We go into Marcus Garvey. We go into Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael, for those who don't know. We go into Steve Coakley. Man, Steve Coakley done set it off for me. You know what I mean? When I combine both of them. And then we go into Dr. Francis Kress Welsing, Ivan Van Sertima, who happens to be born on the same day as I am, I believe, and Asada Shakur. There's a bunch more. There's a bunch more, but my brother Malik Kalam and my brother Biz Bronze, because they were writers and MCs, and so as they were saying what they were saying, I was watching them live that, and then putting that and applying that to my life. You know what I mean? Keeping the proper character around me. So definitely, you know what I mean? Those are a lot of the folks that, you know what I mean, Marcus Garvey, a lot of the folks that I just pick up from. And just keep following. Anthony Browder, my fault. I knew there was somebody I needed there. Anthony Browder. Okay. That was toward the end. But yeah, I'm definitely with that. And those are the ones who influenced me, I would say, the most. Fela Kuti also.
Okay, no doubt. You can't go wrong with some of those guys. Or I say my teachers. I didn't sit at their feet, but they taught me indirectly through their works. You know, through their public speaking and through their lectures. Right? So you can't go wrong with some of them strong brothers. They paved the way for us, man. All right, yes, man. So
I did sit at some of their feet, though. I did sit at Kwame Ture. So Carmichael. And I did sit at the feet of Steve Coakley because I'm from the PA area. But I actually did security for Ivan Van Sertima and for so back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm that vintage. I'm that vintage. That's how long I've been around. I'm that vintage.
I see, man. Your artist name is Son the Great.
Yes,
and
sir.
It's quite distinctive. Could you explain the significance behind the spelling and the meaning it holds to you? Because I that's the spelling, but I see that's kind of your thing. I see is the spelling. So can you go into that, man?
I'm an acronym. Yes, I love the acronym. Acronym is the Medu Neter. Acronym is the hieroglyphs, for those who don't know. That's what acronyms are. That's what you mean. You're taking something small and making something, you know what I mean, to make a bigger picture. So I love that, you know what I mean, that aspect. But my name is Sundiata, which is Sundiata, you know what I mean, in this form. So the sun is a representation of that first part of my name, to keeping it there. The DA is Divine Avenger, and the GR8 is great, but it is the greatness of the Most High in me that reminds me that I must represent the greatness of the Most High and the ancestors all the time, the energy of the Most High and the ancestors all the time, the fight of the ancestors and the Most High all the time. But it's also grand revolution infinity. So, you know what I mean? I will stay on my grand revolution for infinity until we liberate it and free all of us. Until if that ain't that, I ain't got nothing else. That's what I'm here for. That's my purpose. So, but it's also came from, I used to be known as Sundi, son of original nation, defined to the society I've been placed in. And then I went by the name of Godson. So I kind of combined them together, and it used to be Sundiata the Great. But when it came to the rebranding time, you know how we, you know, in the last 10 years, we had to rebrand, you know what I mean, to build. I just shortened it to Sun, but the sun itself is the force of life, the energy, you know what I mean? It don't darken. So it's a reminder of who I am, Sun the Great, in that aspect. So that's where the name has, you know what I mean, morphed and changed into what it is right now. But my greatness is the greatness that I see in everybody else. And if you can see my greatness, it's because you know your greatness. If you can't see mine, we're going to work on yours. That's what it means.
No doubt, man. I love it. All right. Can you tell us more about the Fleet DJ Georgia and its role within the music and the culture scene, man?
Well, I'm part of the Georgia division, but Fleet DJs is like one of the biggest coalitions of DJs around. And what they end up doing, my DJ before, his name is DJ Tastic, aka Gostic. He was a one-armed DJ, and we were if you see some of my videos, you'll see him in it. And the brother in the background with no arm, that was my DJ at the time. and he was part of the Fleet DJ coalition. And then I started doing some shows there at their conferences. I did about 4 or 5 of their conferences. And at the time, they didn't have artists, but they had podcast people and spokespersons. So I was like, listen, I gotta get down because I liked what they were doing. I met a bunch of people. They were in Dallas, they were in Florida, you know what I mean, and I think New York. And I did Florida twice, Dallas twice, and now they're about to do their conference here in Atlanta. So the importance of what they're doing is they're giving the opportunity for people to be recognized. And when I first started doing with them, I was the only one in there saying what I was saying, coming with the truth, coming with that information. You know what I mean? If you go, you're going to see some debauchery. You're going to see what you think, what they think people want to hear. But when I first started, I was the only one there. Three conferences later, we had at least 10 of us wearing the crystals, rocking RBG, you know what I'm saying, rocking red, black, and green. They was in there bringing some knowledge and some information. And even the cats who I saw before, kind of on debauchery, had started to make a shift in a movement toward giving more substance. So for me, going to the Fleet DJs, and shout out to Aaron, he's the vice president of Fleet DJs. When I go there, I'm watching what is being done and pushed now, and then watching how the change and the shift comes, so that it helps me to register what it is that I need to do more of, and what it is that I can help promote when I see them. And I made some real good acquaintances and some family from that, who, when they heard what I was saying, they recognized it. And let me tell y'all, these DJs want to hear what we, the proper propagandists, have to say, but they don't have anybody out there doing it because we won't pay the money to get on that stage. Now, I understand you don't have to pay, you shouldn't be paying a whole bunch of money, but there's certain stages at this point in time that says, shout out to Knowledge Born Allah, do the Knowledge Radio. I see you. Yes. I can't see who that was, but shout out to you. There's certain stages that it might require a bunch of funds, but it's a 3-4 day event every time you go to the conference. So you get to meet every one of the DJs and you get to hear a lot of the information, and you get, and they're blessing you with information at all times. So Zalu. So in the words of Malik Kalam, Zalu. So to me, Fleet DJs have been an important part of me pushing what I do out to the rest of the world, outside of Atlanta, outside of Pennsylvania, and also me gathering the information for what's there going on and what I need to address in the music that I do, or if I say in the muse thinking that I do. Muse thinking. Yes.
Okay. All right. Dope. Yeah, man. It need to be more people like that. If it's a big platform like that, that should be a no-brainer. You know, everybody rallying in and putting whatever they got to put together to get on those platforms to get that exposure. You know, more of this music need to be exposed to the people, right? Because you know, you list the play sets on the regular radio stations that we listen to. That's not you don't hear that type of music, right?
Nah.
You definitely don't hear that type of music, and Biddy for Houdier or Obafemi, you know, and we need that, man.
Team RBG. Yeah, we do. We like a lot of times we kind of, the conscious community, I don't even like that term, just so we're clear, but you mean the people who got substance, you know what I mean, sometimes don't have the dollars. So that we can, and we don't even support our own self. But if you're gonna spend the money, go meet and greet the people who can actually push out what you're doing. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, that song High Vibing, that track came from somebody I met at the Fleet DJ conference. So you know what I mean? So you never know what it is, and I'm still connected. DJ XXL out in the California way. You know what I mean? I'm still connected to the people. But yeah, we need to do that. As a matter of fact, we need to do it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We need to have our own conferences. But at the same time, we can't be preaching to the choir.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to hit the streets. That's where the problems is. So let's go to the problem.
Yeah.
Show what we show.
And
Go ahead.
you mentioned something. I'm working on something right now. It's gonna have a few people in the uproar. You know, but
I like it.
I don't care. But it the mindset, we need to change our mindsets. You mentioned money. Like we got to get out of this poor righteous teacher mindset. Like and you mentioned not supporting each other. And that was a reason for me. And we're gonna get back on it. You know, I've said this a few times about this Team RBG and the RBG Gumbo mixtape. It kind of vitalized me and kind of brung me back. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a black nationalist and I'm a Pan-Africanist and I'm a RBG representative. But the past 2 years, I kind of been dormant. I kind of been in my feelings about certain things. So I kind of rebranded myself. I kind of rebranded my publishing company. I kind of rebranded my clothing brand and rebranded my my media company and focus somewhere else, because I noticed that we preach a lot, we talk a lot, but we don't have that unity where we supporting each other. We not circulating the dollars, or we don't have the dollars at all, because we believe in this poor mindset. You know what I'm saying? This poor righteous teacher mindset. And then we continue to go down that path. We'll never be able to build whatever it is that we trying to build. We saying we trying to do things on our own, right? We got to be able to get out of that mindset. We got to be able to figure out certain ways on how we able to draw in money for ourselves. So we able to, when we get ready to do a conference, or we get ready to do a concert, or we get ready to go out and buy things for the, do things for the community, we able to do it without it hurting anybody else's problem. So we got the knowledge. We got the knowledge. We know how to quote everybody else. All of these teachers and these scholars, we know how to conduct ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We know everything about our West African culture and our traditions, and we can cite these different things. But when it comes down to maintaining money or keeping money, or how to get access to money to do certain things, man, we don't have it. And that's what's been stopping us from doing a lot of stuff that we need to do. So, you know, I'm hoping that I'm able to, you know, inspire some people with this article that I'm writing, you know what I'm saying, and even show ways that we able to make money, we able to do certain things, we able to get the money, we able to get some funding, we able to do certain things within ourselves, you know what I'm saying. We just got to take the initiative, and we got to be able to do it and get out of that mindset and that conditioning of, you know, the poor righteous teacher mindset. Well, we can't, because I know some people might want to support what Son the Great got going on, but they just can't do it monetarily because, you know, they don't have it. So now we got to figure out ways how we able to help those, you know what I'm saying, where they able to have it, and you know, and we able to circulate the data within our own, you know, our own circle, you know what I'm saying? And it's beneficial for everybody. You know, I'm able to support you, you able to support me, however the support may look. And sometimes support ain't even just all about monetary. You know, it's support goes, you know, emotional, you know what I'm saying? Support goes showing up for a brother event, you know what I'm saying? Building a brother up. Brother, I'm proud of you. I appreciate what you doing, man. You motivate me, bro. You inspire me. You know what I'm saying? Or I come to you, you know, and I can come to you and you not gonna sugarcoat nothing. You're not gonna entertain it. When I'm wrong, you gonna be there and tell me when I'm wrong. You're not gonna be entertaining, you know, no BS, and you gonna call me out when I need to be called out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's gonna
even in that, we're gonna do that with love. We're gonna do that with empathy. We're gonna do that with care and concern. Treat each other like, you know, me, because myself and my wife and myself, we do trauma treatments for people, and you know what I mean, that's part of it. But you know what I mean, we do that. But like you said, sometimes you may not have the funds, but you are a resource yourself, and simply just taking one finger and pressing share is a resource and a currency that we don't practice. It's not even listen, give me 15 seconds, press to share it out. That's what we're asking to do, because the more that we get the people listening and paying attention, the more they're gonna bring people in. And we may not have the money up front, but you know somebody who do, who's going to support like that when they hear healing coming to you. They hear protection coming to you. They hear widespread information and the breaking down of lies and the truth coming to you. You just became their resource, their enlightenment. So that's what we have to do. And that's what I'm pushing to make sure we all have the ability to push for. You understand what I'm saying? That resource. If you ain't got the money, be the resource. If you got the money, then go ahead and do that, but be the resource.
Yeah. No
Trauma
doubt,
workshops. Yes.
All right. Man, where we at? How crucial is it for you to incorporate African-centered themes into your work? And why do you believe this focus is important for your audience?
Let me open with this. I don't believe anything. I either know it or I don't, and I'm constantly looking for the truth in it. You know what I mean? I will accept what people say, but I don't believe. But what I know is red, black, green has always been the key. Pan-African is the key. And the reason why is everybody is stealing, usurping, snatching from Mama Africa, except us. Everybody else is doing better than us. So when I look at it as a mathematic problem, it's easy to me. You know what I mean? We influence the culture of the world. We influence the revolutionaries of Africa. These revolutionaries of Africa have come from here, went back over there, took the information, and they started kicking butt and kicking people out, making things happen. Shout out to Fela. You know what I'm saying? And making this happen via music, via politics. It's only makes sense for us to help build that unification there of one African people from there and throughout the diaspora, so that we have a protection that the Chinese have, that the Irish have, that the Italians have, that the French have, wherever they're at, especially in America. We don't have that. We need that protection. And since Africa is the mama of them all, you know what I mean? Why not go forward with your love for yourself and the Africans, even if you don't think that you came from Africa, even though the mitochondria say so. You know what I'm saying? So that being the case, have that love and let's help unify the African continent. And then as we're doing that, unifying the diaspora all over. It's the main reason why I make music. I've never not made any music that wasn't pro-Africa. My name is Sundiata Mansour, so all my life. So when it came to making music, which I even started later on that, but when it came to making music, you know what I mean? Public Enemy, X-Clan, Rockin', boom. I mean, BDP, The Coup, you know what I mean? Paris, P-Dog.
Yeah.
If it wasn't that, if it wasn't Poor Righteous Teachers, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't Brand Nubian, why are you even playing that around me? I don't want to hear that. This is what I'm dealing with. So when I started doing and dealing into my artistry, you know what I mean? I follow my sources. I follow my resources. I follow the people who led me in the proper direction so I can lead others in the proper direction. So to me, it doesn't make any sense to do anything else. And I believe in balance. I believe in balance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's there, but we're so imbalanced right now that I go hard. I go hard on what we're doing for Pan-Africanists, for Team RBG, for Outlaw RBG, for the Ven JAH'S. You know what I mean? That's what we represent. You know what I mean? That coming together as one collective. And, you know what I mean? As an artist, this is your job and your duty. It should be your honor to represent properly to the community on what they need to do. You know what I mean? Nina Simone, you know what I'm saying? Paul Robeson, you know what I mean? This is, you know what I mean? It may not be the same, but it's art. And the higher the art is, the higher the civilization, the community is. This is a fact. When the art goes down, it ain't too much further for that particular empire or whatever you want to call it to be diminished.
Mm-hmm.
So I am doing my job for me, my family, my culture, the universe, Most High first, and I and my ancestors to make sure that I bring a high vibe so that you can survive this war That's you. Because if you think you're going to survive the war in a low vibration, you are sadly mistaken. Bars. So, you know, that's why I do what I do for the ancestors in me. And truthfully, all I'm really doing is hearing what they're saying, writing it down, and then being the vessel when I perform it.
For sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah, I wish, man, you named a few artists, Parrish, Poor Righteous Teachers, X-Clan, Public Enemy. So that I grew up off that music, but I didn't appreciate that music. I didn't understand that music coming up, man, as a young buck. But later on in life, I started to appreciate it and value, you know, what they were saying, man, and the message that they was trying to deliver at the time. I wish I would have knew better then. I would have valued, but I definitely, you know what I'm saying? They were in rotation, but they weren't in heavy rotation like my favorite back then. Even though he was connected with Public Enemy, Ice Cube. Ice Cube was like my favorite. So he had like he was RBG in a way. He was very political.
He was actually foundational black. You know what I mean? Because he was like, I'm trying to handle it over here. You know what I mean? But he was still with the aspect of understanding Africa and the respect of what we need to do. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. He had the gutter stuff.
Go ahead.
I was saying he had the rough and gutter stuff, but he had a balance in there too. So, you know, a message behind some of the stuff. So, yeah.
And I'm a hip hop historian. So I love music. But I love me some hip hop. I love me some, you know what I mean? Well, what happened there? Because I remember I am vintage enough to remember putting a record on, listening to it, and it was hip hop, hip, hibbity, hit the hop, the don't stop, the doc, the bang, bang, the boogie. You know what I mean? And I was like, what is this? And that same night, I heard flashlight. Like, what? So the combination of hip hop and funk and Parliament and this set something off in me that said, no, we got to do that. So when I heard Ice Cube do things like that, West Coast cats do things like that, you know what I mean? That guerrilla funk, I just resonated right to it. And Chuck D is like my verbal daddy. You know what I'm saying? My lyrical pops is Chuck D. If there was no Public Enemy, I probably wouldn't even be rhyming.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, Chuck D was hard, man. That Joker was hard. It was hard.
Yes, sir.
You have been in the hip hop scene for a while. Has your music always carried conscious messages, and how has your artistry evolved over the years?
Yes, it has. And early on, I was way more concerned about just saying the thing. My first two songs that I ever wrote later on was Off With Your Head and Vengeance Is Mine. Those were the title of the first two songs I wrote. So I've always stepped into it from a perspective of protection and provision of information for the people. But I think now, or as I've grown, I've been around enough MCs, which I don't consider myself. I consider myself a motivational vocal expressionist, MVE. I respect MCs. I respect what they do. You know what I'm saying? I love them. I love the wordplay in there, but I'm not dealing with my ego. And a lot of MCs, it's part of the ego is part of the, you know, the camaraderie part of that competition. I'm not in competition with my people. I'm battling the system. I'm gonna leave my people, do what they do. You go do that. I'm over here doing this. I can understand, and I have a slight respect for rappers, because as a rapper, you're talking about your material, but you still got to get in that booth. You still got to say something over a beat. It's not an easy thing to do. I don't know if you ever tried it and you don't do it, try it. You'll see. It's not an easy thing. So I get that, but I don't respect the content because it has no substance. So I always have brought the substance, and then I've just grown to give my perspective authentically, vocal wise and flow wise, which wasn't really that too much of a concern with me before. They used to be like, you should do spoken word. I'm like, yeah, but I like speaking over this music and I like to do it how I want to. But I remember doing some of the stuff that they're doing now. just as, man, as an experiment 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me 20 years ago, nah, you can't do that. Nah. And because I was young in it, even though I was at a certain age, I was young in the field, I allowed other producers and other MCs to say, I'm learning, so let me show you the way. 15 years later, 20 years later, now you're doing what I was doing back then. It just lets me know, that I was on point, and let's bring some of that out. So
yeah, ahead of your time. Mm-hmm. Yes, most definitely. I have went back and checked out, as much as old stuff as I can as possible, man. And
appreciate
you give that, and it's and you will I consider you like a lyricist, man. You really be spitting, bro. You be spitting, bro. You really be spitting, man. And your vocal your tone of your voice and your cadence, man. You to me, you got a mixture of East Coast and South mixed together. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes, sir.
But yeah, man. Regarding, let's get into the Ven JAH'S. Ven JAH'S.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And again, regarding the name's Vengeance, did you play a role in its creation? And can you share the backstory of the group and its significance? And even the wordplay on it, the wordplay, the Ven, V.E.N JAH'S, that's kind of, can you kind of go into
yes,
that?
Sir.
Man?
Yes, sir. So it is V.E.N is the acronym, it's the first acronym. Ven JAH'S, yeah, you know what it is. Shout out. So V.E.N is an acronym for Victorious Elevated Natchez. Meaning we're at an age where they told us we was never going to make it to this age. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're at a time where the people who are half our age ain't making it at all. So the victorious part is we have survived the war and we've been victorious in it. We want you to know that. We are elevating ourselves and elevating you in the things that we're doing, speaking, acting, as people. And then the nature is the nature. The nature is the creative force, and it's God. So the victorious elevated natchez, and then JAH'S is a Jah with the apostrophe S, meaning we belong to the Most High. We are children of the Most High. In I, but understand, not even the spookism. Just what's the most high part of your body? Your brain. What's the most high part in the sky? That's that sun right there. You know what I'm saying? So we are the children of that. So we can't be touched. We're on our purpose, and so we're protected. And the name itself did come from me. The idea is basically from something that I had been planning and been wanting to do off of my album. Here, let me show you this real quick. Vintage Season. I did an album called Vintage Season, and as I'm listening to the album, I did it so that I could do features with the people who I respected around me as MCs. And as I'm listening to the album, I was like, yo, wait a minute, this is a super group here. So on our way to the massacre, I think it was like 4 years ago, myself, Andre 360, and Mike Chambers, Mike Marvel. Yeah, we were listening to our music and all the things we had, and I brought the idea up, and Andre was like, yeah, I've been thinking about doing that too. And Mike was like, I'm with it. Mike is Outlaw RBG anyhow. So it's like, okay, let's combine the esoteric aspect of what people are calling the consciousness now and the exoteric aspect of the RBG street grassroots aspect element, and let's create something, phenomenal. And yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got my glasses on, so everything's blurry to me. So if I don't say something, sir.
It's all good.
So we sat down, we built with it, and we started with 12 of us, then it went down to 9, and not even down. It just, you know what I mean? We're grown people. We all grown men. We doing grown man business. We handling our business. But what we wanted to do was make sure that we were interchangeable parts. So we're not a group per se. We're more like a collective. You know what I mean? And we have people who range from the age of 54 down to the age of 30 within this collective. And if you go to Ven.Jah'S bandcamp.com, VEN-JAH'S.bandcamp.com, you will be able to hear all of the work that we put in, the first 3 projects we put in, and you'll get to understand the sense of why I said we got a super group, we got a super collective here, and we need to put this together to make sure that the rest of the world not just hears what we all have to say, but is directed a certain way. You mean? And I'm gonna tell you the truth. Mike Chambers, when you get Mike Chambers on there, he'll tell you too. Yeah, about 5 to 6 years ago, there was a quietness of elder MCs and artists. And when we started dropping these music, they started, you know what I mean? We was in that flow of the universe and we started pushing that everywhere. You know what I mean? And then now we seeing everybody, older folk coming through, you know what I mean? Rocking and talk what it is. And you know what I mean? We keep moving, we keep grooving. And the Ven.Jah'S is not just a music group, but it is a business. You know, it is a way that we can push forward proper propaganda on every platform possible, on every business possible. You know what I mean? Ven.Jah'S LLC is like the African-centered rock nation without the filth. We're gonna have our hands everywhere.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to Mike tonight, man, and see if I can get him on here pretty soon, man, real soon. As that, man, because the more I'm digging on a lot of y'all and listening to y'all music, Mike dope too, man. Mike Chambers,
yes, sir.
He dope,
yes,
he
sir.
Dope too. He dope.
We don't have a weak link in the Ven.Jah'S.
Yeah.
I'm just here to tell you, we don't have a weak link in the Ven.Jah'S. We just, you know, we do what we do, and I'm not being egotistical. I'm just saying everybody was kings. You know what I mean? There was no leader. Everybody was kings. Everybody was emperors. You know what I'm saying? And we came together for that. So now all my brothers is ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, give thanks. Yeah, for sure. And while we still on Ven.Jah'S, man, Ven.Jah'S is a vibrant platform that promotes social progress, progressive music. How long has it been in operational, and what strategies do you use to reach a wider audience with its powerful and cultural rich content? You know, and
yes,
again, it's powerful. Like I told you off, and I'm gonna say it online. You know, I've been jamming it, you know, all day yesterday. I literally listened to it all day yesterday and listened to it majority of the day today. And it has a lot of great artists on there that with a positive, uplifting, empowering, inspiring messages on there, man. So do I need to repeat the question again, man?
No. We well, I gotta give at this point, I gotta give a shout out to my brother Don from truthhiphop.com and Genius Level Radio. He's my silent partner, you know what I mean? Which he's like, don't say. Listen, the brother is doing amazing things with what he's doing, but he also seen that there was a need for this niche, for the strength and the revolution to be more, you know what I mean, pushed out, more acceptable or accessible to people, pardon me. So he came to me with the aspect of what it was, and we actually been talking about it for a minute. I've been thinking about it for 2 years, ever since I was on Do the Knowledge Radio, when Knowledge Born Allah. I've been thinking about it, but he came with the technical aspect to help me get through it and handle what it is. And we started this January around my born day, and the 26th, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that has been a part of my heart and been wanting to do. I've been in and out of radio stations for the last 30 years, you know what I mean? From RFG here in Atlanta area, to the college radios in Pennsylvania, Allentown, Reading, all through there, you know what I mean? So doing a radio situation was what I wanted to do. But I don't want it just to be music. I love the music. I love to listen to the music too, but I also want to have the information being spoken. I also want to have poetry on there, because what people don't realize is when you start listening to this poetry, it's connecting synapses in your brain that have been disconnected by the nonsense that they've been pushing. And then it allows lyricists like myself and like my squad, like my people from Team RBG, Gumbo. Hold on a second, plug. Got to do that. Team RBG Gumbo. It allows you to hear them in a way that you might not have been able to hear and understand before. So I also want to bring in commercial aspects of companies and Black businesses, you know what I mean, that are really putting out product that will assist us. Like our brother Shango sells water filters from your sink and your shower. You know how dangerous the water is you shower with right now? You know what I mean? So things like that, pushing that out there, and pushing events, and you know what I mean, just getting a wider brace. Now we have the ability to hit 30 million Americans. We have the ability to hit UK. We have the ability to hit Canada. So my thing was, if I have this ability, then I'm going to do this 24/7 and push what we need to do myself, you know what I mean, through this. So we're opening up for people with substance, quality, African-centered music, or music, like I like to say, to come on through. Send your music to venjahsradio.com, VENJAH'Sradio@gmail.com. Send your music in. You know, if it fits that qualification, where it's substance, it's proper, and you can cuss on it. I understand. I prefer you don't, but if you do, I get it. As long as the substance and the content is that pushing of something proper in the African standpoint, I'm cool. But we want your music, we want your podcast, we want your poetry, we want all of that. I will program it in there. If you send me an entire album, I will play that album for like 3 days. I'm going to play your album at a certain time so your people can listen to it and push it. I play all of the gumbo. I play all of ours. You know what I mean? So I will do that. So I'm really looking to link with other people like mine who understand the vision of proper propaganda and pushing out what we need to get to the people. And then, you know what I mean, and just getting that circle of energy. You know what I mean? This is the resource. This is my commodity. This is what I can do. Let me help you. I'm an Aquarius. I love to help. I'm a humanitarian. I may not even like to talk to people, but I'm a humanitarian. So I will help out as much as I possibly can. And right now, it's not even costing nobody nothing. It will in a minute, because bills got to get paid, right? So it will cost in a minute, but I'm not going to bang you in your head. I'm just going to be like, listen, help me, help you. And there we go. But so that's what we're looking to do.
No, definitely. Like
my wife is watching this, telling me right now, you're talking too much. And sometimes I do that. I just full of information. Give me the mic.
We need that. This is what this is for. This is what this is for. I want you to talk. I want you to talk. And like I said, I think it's dope, man. It gives us another alternative. Like, I was saying, before we got on here live, it's, the radio stations, they're filtered with, or their playlist is just full of filth, negativity, painting bad images about us, programming our youth mind, the women to be more promiscuous and, naked, you know what I'm saying? The
Yes,
men
yes.
or our boys to disrespect our women, to treat them a certain type of way, go out and kill another person that looks just like you,
Yes.
tear down the community that you belong to. So, like I said, this is, what you got, man, is like really dope. And I'm gonna do my part, and I'm gonna tell everybody. I swear, I'm gonna tell everybody. I produced a piece of content that I'm gonna share tomorrow. My GR8 podcast. Every GR8 podcast, we do it once a month. We have a promotional segment. I'm gonna promote Ven-Jah Radio every episode in the GR8 podcast because I want to try to get this out to as many people as possible. I'm impressed. Like I told you, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That's why, I'm inspired by it too. And me listening to it the entire all day. I like music.
Yeah.
I love music. I'm a music producer too, but I don't listen to music all day. My thing is I get in here, I work, I get my work done for my clients, and then I like to read and research because I'm an independent researcher. So that's me having a good time. But me listening to the radio all day yesterday, and then majority of and probably would have still been listening to it, but I had to get ready for this interview. You know what I'm saying? And listening to it all day, like I told you, I'm inspired, I'm impressed, and I'm gonna make sure I do my part by sharing it to many people as possible and doing it, and even plugging it next month in my magazine. My CLA magazine, I did a whole article on my blog site, Kofi Piesie Written Composition, on the Team RBG.
It's a fire article too. If y'all didn't see it, you didn't read it, you go get it. It's one of the best breakdowns. I could tell you was paying attention, and and it was very, very well done. Go check that out, y'all.
And I'm gonna have y'all in. I got an entertainment section. So in the entertainment section as well, I have movies and TV shows that I have one of my contributors do. I'm gonna do the music. He normally do the music section too, but I'm gonna do the music section personally because I want to do a follow-up write-up on the Team RBG mixtape. But now I'm going to do it. It's not going to be the same as that one because I done interviewed a lot of Team RBG members in the past month. So now I got a little bit more as to talk to, and I done listened to other music outside of the Team RBG music that the other artists, a part of Team RBG, has done. So now I can give a further breakdown on some of these other artists. And in between that as well, I'm gonna plug the Ven-Jah's radio station in there as well. I'm gonna have to get your logo from you so I can put the logo in the magazine. The magazine will be out March the 21st next month. I start production on it. Actually this week I got all my stuff turned in from because I got a writing team also that helps me. So I'm gonna start putting everything together and editing everything, and then I got to write. That's the only thing that hadn't been done, which I'm gonna get done tonight. And that is I'm gonna wait till after I interview the next person Saturday, and then I'll start because it ain't gonna take me long to write that review that goes in the entertainment section for it. But I'm definitely gonna tell as many people as possible, man. And now you gave me a chance. Now when I'm riding in one of my whips, normally time if I like to read. If I'm not reading the physical book, I'm listening to the audio in the car because I don't like listening to the radio. And if I do listen to the radio, I listen to the old hip hop 90s on Sirius XM radio. I listen to the oldest. So now I got something. Now I can blast in the car, and I also can blast it in the car, and I can have my son and my daughter and my wife in the car as we ride. And now they'll listen to something with substance, and they don't have all that cursing and profanity and talking down about our people too, man. So
I'm working on clearing out, especially the early part, because I'm from the old school, of the cursing. But even in the cursing,
it's all good. It's all good. It's something that I've been listening to it, and I heard a few songs today, and some yesterday. But I mean, it's had that substance in there, man. And and we do it here, so it's all good. That's that balance, man. So. Most definitely, man. And if y'all don't know, man, y'all need to go tune in to Ven-Jah's Radio, man.
V.E.N JAH'S. .radio.com. You know what I mean? Check it out. You know what I mean? Somebody, I know somebody out there on the job. Put it up on the
in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. Shout out to the meditation chick. Shout out to the meditation chick. She does meditation. She does trauma research and trauma and healing aspect. This is my partner in life. I got to give her a shout out because I don't get none of what I'm doing at all done without her assistance, without her doing that. You know what I mean? She's the backbone. Shout out to Newark. It'll be the only time I give Newark a shout out because I'm from Reading, PA 6th Ward. But that's an inside joke between me and her. She's from Newark. I'm from PA. So, but I say that because she is my inspiration to get things done, to do music and to push for the people. And we're pushing for the healing. So before I don't want to forget it, even go any further. Shout out to Shira, the meditation chick. Yeah, check her out. The meditation chick, Brown, Bougie, and Balance. Check it out. I just had to do that real quick. Yes, sir, bro.
No doubt. That's all good, man. And send me her info as well so I can promote her on the GR8 podcast promoting segment that we do every we do every month. So I'll have her in there in that promotion segment as well. You know, I want to help my people as much as I can. You know, I want to do what I can, especially something good for the people, man. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be helping each other out. Yes, man,
Artifacts.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying Artifacts. Get your clothes from Artifacts. You know what I mean? Team RBG. You know what I mean? Outlaw RBG, Team RBG. Get your clothes from Artifacts. You know what I mean? They did my shirts. Go get it. All right. I just had, you know what I mean? I'm plugging. I got to plug my people, man.
Yeah, for sure. Ain't the God's all good, man. It's all good, dog. This your show, man. You do what you want, man. It's your show. You do it. You know, you do
us.
It. Absolutely.
It's us. Man, it's whole we. You know how people be like, I'm holy we. It's whole we. You know what I mean? Because they can't be whole without us. So it's whole we. You know what I mean? It's us. But yeah, man.
For sure. How did your collaboration with Team RBG come about, and what was the selection process for your solo and group contribution to the RBG Gumbo mixtape? Because you on there twice. You the Vengeance, and then you have your vibration song, high vibing song on there. So what was the process? How did you link up with them, and then the process behind selecting the songs for each mixtape?
For most of it, like everybody else, brother Obafemi, who I call Obagarby, and brother Shango, you know what I'm saying, actually reached out to me, and you know what I mean, they told me what they were planning on doing and how it was, and I was like, listen, I don't even join organizations, you know what I mean, because things be acting up later on, but I'm affiliated with a bunch. But what you talking about is what I'm about anyhow. I'm RBG all day, Outlaw RBG all day. So when it came to Team RBG and the organization putting it together from the Pan-African perspective, I was kind of all in. And with those two having the conversation and bringing it to me, it's like, you know, with the character, it's trustworthy. You know what I mean? I know they about their business. You know what I mean? And so it was kind of a no-brainer for me to do. And then when we were talking about it in the committee and putting music together, I like to push my people before myself. So automatically, I knew I was going to put the Vengeance song up there because it's the newest one. It's a brand new original beat. Shout out to Big Nell, DJ Obuya. I mean, so I knew that was the case, and that was going to be, you know what I mean, one of the songs. But they said get 2 songs, and I was like, oh, what was the other one? I was arguing with myself on a solo situation because I got another song called Bust Shots at the Devil, you know, and but I'm not the only one on that track. So when they were asking, I mean, I said solo. I didn't want anybody else to maybe be offended or whatever on other tracks that I have, or get in touch. And you know what I mean, if it was a money situation, I know for me, I will volunteer my time, my energy, and whatever. but I don't want to put anybody else in that position. That's me. I can't say that for anybody else. But I knew the Ven JAH'S would be in agreement to that. So we put that on, and then I put the high-vibing on because I know it's a video that's out already. I know what the song means, and it fits perfectly for what they said they wanted to do, what we all said we wanted to do in this collaboration. But then there was another song that was just sitting in the back that Mike Chambers had produced. My brother Tutmo Sankara had brought to my attention, called Siddiqui Free.
Okay.
And I was just sitting there with it like, well, this would probably go perfectly here, and it's nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, I think I may have sent it out to the West Coast, but it's not on anybody else's mixtape. So I sent it to Obafemi, and he said it passed. You know what I mean? We waited to see how many songs and how many people was gonna get there, and it just so happened that there was some room for it, so they let it rock. And so I got 3 songs on, one on each.
Yeah, I remember part of. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just my pleasure. It is my duty. It is my honor to do anything I can in promotion from a RBG Gumbo, in promotion of my brothers the Ven JAH'S, and promotion of Team RBG, and promotion of Pan-Africanism, promotion of Black nationalism, and all of that. This is what we're supposed to be doing here at this point in time. This is my purpose. So it was a no-brainer for me to be able to jump on, assist with that, and as long as they accepted what I dropped on them, then I'm cool with it. And I can't wait for Black State of Emergency. That right there, man. I got something there too. You know what I mean? But everybody that's gonna be, look out for it. It's coming out in August from Team RBG. We only gave you the gumbo to get your lips all wet, get your tonsils all ready for how we gonna protect you. We provided with gumbo. Now we're gonna give you the protection with the Black State of Emergency, and it's fire. It's already fire. It ain't even done yet. So yeah, that's kind of the movement and how that all happened.
No doubt. I can't wait for it neither, dog. Can't wait for it. Yes, sir. And Obi had asked me, now I'm thinking about it, he asked me back in December to do something for it, a track for it, man. I had told him I hadn't picked up my keyboard and my MPC in a minute, my MPC back over there. I hadn't even did no music in a minute. I've been so busy, man. But y'all got me fired up. I'm gonna have to get in here and start banging out something, man, pretty soon here too, man.
Yeah, we need that from you, man. We need that. You know what I mean? Yeah. We need all the creativeness that you got, man. The world needs that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
not just And you know what? I know a lot of times as we advance in age and experience, we sometimes feel like, this ain't, I'm too old to do this, and I did that, but I'm like, but the truth is, the vibration and the frequency of liberation is a necessity until we get it. You know what I mean? We don't have it, and I'm a revolt or die, meaning RE-volt, revolt. That volt is that energy. You know what I mean? We've been pulling energy from the wrong source. Let's rearrange and revolve and revolt ourselves properly, spiritually, mentally, physically, when need be. And then, make sure that we are not the ones holding death, but we give them death. Because with the source, there is no death, there's only transition. So, and so there's no stopping what your artistic abilities do. There is only morphing into, what it is. And that'll help bring that even right back. When you have all of that you've been doing for the last 2 years, and you bring that back to the do. Oh man, you gonna bless them. I can't wait to hear. Can I get one of those beats, sir? Can I get one of those?
I got you.
Yes, sir.
I got you. I'm not they not no mediocre. Matter of fact, I got something too. I'm just gonna send you so you can see kind of like what I do. They not They not media. I've been doing this for a long time, man. I'll take a break, start back, take a break. I used to do music 24/7 all the time. I think I shared on one of these shows I did. Well, I almost got when I was I was in a group called I ain't gonna even say the name. The name's bad.
Good.
Yeah, I was a part of a group called 3-Pack, and this acronym 3 Pimpin' Ass Thugs. That was the name of the group at that particular time, and we did music. This was my junior high and all through high school. And my high school year, we almost got signed to Rap-A-Lot. The guy at the time that was producing us, Michael Collins, was a part. I mean, he had a record company called GME Music and GME Studios, and he was connected with Rap-A-Lot. He would sell a lot of his music, his production to Rap-A-Lot, and you know, and give away all his rights, and they will put somebody else's name and give them extra credit, at the time. So he had a relationship with them, and we had we had a showcase, and after the showcase, we were supposed to have a meeting. I don't know, it was Mike Dean, one of the producers. It was one of the producers, and something happened where they didn't show up, and we weren't able to sit down and have that meeting. It kind of all fell apart. But we almost had a chance, man, you know, to signing with them, you know, and them listening to us at that show. The showcase still went on, but, you know, the meeting and them didn't take place. But, yeah, so I've been doing it a long time, man. Probably the last 20-some years I've been doing music. Started out as a poet first. I did poetry first, and, you know, transitioning and doing rap at an early age. But yeah, man.
Well, you know what X-Clan said? Brother J said it was the pimp who drove the mountainous elephant. It was ignorance that made this irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? People got they have the colonized understanding of what a pimp, but sound like a pimp is an elephant trader. You know what I'm saying? Taking something this big, you know what I mean, and creating it, making it do what you wanted to do. As you're this small, it's that big, but we still gonna make it happen. So I would say, you know what I mean, I see you, you know what I mean, and we in the pimp game, but not in a negative aspect. You know what I'm saying? So I see you pimping the jar, you're making an elephant in the room stand out. So you know what I mean, and it's growth, brother. It's growth. I love it.
It's growth, man. Because I went from there, and then I formed another group. We put out a couple of albums, DCM, another acronym, Deep Country Mob. And we had a little balance in there, but it was still it still was rough. And then I started, you know, transitioning into, you know, to the other things. Once I got my mind right, I was out of my African mind when I was doing the music at the time. So when I got in my African mind, you know, I started producing and, you know, writing about, you know, some stuff with some substance, something, you know, positive and uplifting, right? Shout out to everybody been on fire. The chat been on fire.
Yeah, that chat look like it's on fire. You know what I mean? Thank y'all for tuning in to the show right here tonight with, you know what I mean, Warrior Scholars. Make sure you all go back and check all the shows over by Jumi, Queen Jasiri, Metal Sequence, Rakim Shabazz. Make sure you check them all out, and then go back to 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Because they still there. You got to get them numbers up and do that. You know what I mean? There's information there that you ain't got, y'all. Go get it. I mean, So I heard you say you've been on since 2014.
Yeah, I've been I've been on YouTube since 2014. I kind of started my journey late 2012, and 2013 I committed my life to being an avid reader and then sharing it. Hence, up here, as I learn, we all learn. That's also a clothing line I have. As I learn, we all learn. And as I go out and do public speaking and do lectures, I open up with as I learn, we all learn. I model my businesses and my life after the American Negro Academy with Alex Cromwell, W.E.D. Du Bois, Carter G. Wilson, Paul Dunbar, all of these individuals with the each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? It was back in the late 19th, 20th century. You know, it was whatever we learned, it was to go back. Our ancestors went back and shared it with the community. So whatever information that you was able to retain, and even when it was at a point where we was able to get into some of their institutions, we always had to come back and share that information with the community, you know what I'm saying, to educate our people. So I live by that phrase, each one teach one, which my mind, as I learn, we all learn, is a spinoff of each one teach one. So whatever I learn, I want to come on these platforms. So 2014, I started coming on these platforms and doing lectures after lectures after lectures after lectures to inform our people, to try to liberate the minds of our people, to bring them back into their African mind. The channel was to Africanize each person that comes on the platform, because we are out of our African minds. And then the Mossi Warrior Clan, I'm also a member of the Mossi Warrior Clan. We are a group that deals with West African culture and tradition and language. So if you go to the Mossi Warrior Clan channel, I have 1,000 lectures on that platform, as well as sharing and getting people abreast of West African culture and tradition, because most of us come via West African, and some of us from Central Africa as well, but majority of us come from via West Africa. So I wanted to we are here to popularize West Africa. I know we love Kemet, and Kemet is popularized, but we also want to popularize West African and West African culture and tradition. So if y'all check that channel out. Yeah, man. I got one more question, my brother, man. Reflecting on the 80s era of hip hop, you know, because you mentioned Public Enemy, you mentioned Poor Righteous Teacher, you mentioned Poison Clan, you mentioned Paris, and so forth, right? So reflecting on the 80s era of hip hop, which was a mark by the strongest message of pride, Black pride, and empowerment. Do you see the resurgence of the spirit in today's music scene? And this a twofold question, and what steps can be taken to rekindle that scene of pride and cultural identity in the modern hip hop?
Well, I not only do I see it, but I also see it in a different way. When I was coming up, we were dealing with the militancy from the 60s, you know what I mean, in the early 70s, the late 60s and 70s. We were dealing with that militancy, and we added, you know what I mean, we added the element of music, such and such, and we had some spirituality in it. You know what I mean? We had some energy working, such and such. What I see now with these younger cats, like brother 9 Miles the Shaman, he's in the Vengeance, another Vengeance. Shout out to 9 Miles the Shaman. But their spirituality, their understanding of mayats, and understanding of character and all that, and substance in the music is there. They're looking for the guidance. That's where we come in. We don't need to be the leaders. We just need to be the guidance. We don't need to be quiet neither. You know what I mean? Like, they'll tell us, you too old to do this, but rock ain't too old. Country ain't too old. Any other music genre is not too old. They can be 70, 80 years old. They're still making music, but they telling us to be quiet because it's the words. These words are powerful, and we combine, like I said before, we make the mind work. We are critical thinking. You have to critically think to be in the room with a lyricist, the MC, a motivational vocal expressioner, and a poet, because we're telling you something and giving you the image out of the mouth that goes in the mind, and it allows you to see certain things. So I'm seeing the younger folk recognize that, come forward with a spiritual essence, you know what I'm saying, but still listening to the elders with the militants. You know, when you bring the militant and the spiritual together, when you bring that together, what you have is sacred African science. And that's what we're seeing and pushing for, not just with as a group or as a collective, with Team RBG, Gumbo, and the Vengeance, but also as individuals. There are a lot of the individual artists, poets that I'm coming to, you know what I mean, in every age, they're pushing forward to this. And I'm seeing you know how they say things come back around, right? So as they're coming forward, I don't even like to say back, as we're moving forward in the situation, those of us who are still here have a duty to make sure that the younger folk can still express themselves how they do with their style, respect the elder folk, on what we did, get the studies in so they don't lose track of what happened before them. They can improve on that and push that to the future for their children and beyond. And the only way to do that is to do it, to get involved, to make sure that you know some younger artists and you help push them and you get on a track with them. You pull them to your music, you pull them to your poetry, you pull them to your acting aspect. Don't be afraid, they might steal my job. There's no stealing of the job. We're on mission here. This is a mission. And so the mission states, especially for Team RBG, we got to reach back to the youth. We got to reach forward to the youth. We got to reach next to us and say, come with us. We got you. They may not, a lot of your friends ain't even around no more, but we still here. And we pushing forward and organizing business-wise, music-wise, art-wise, economic-wise, culture-wise, and unifying that one African voice, through everything we're doing. So red, black, green is the key. It's in the blood. That is in the blood of the first humanity on the planet. The black is the melanin that combine us with the universe. It's in everywhere except them. You know what I'm saying? Their pineal gland is calcified, so they can't even produce it like we produce it. You know what I mean? And then the green is the land, the earth, every place that we touched ground, and we touched every place here. Yeah, we was here before then. Yeah, this is ours. So is that. So is every place. But we're also understanding that we don't own the land, we live with the land. And that is that green part. So when we combine all of that together, that's what it is. I wish I could read that. I can't see none of what's being said. I see somebody saying something.
It's saying ain't nothing new under the sun, family.
Nope.
If you listen to the God. Yeah.
Yes,
and
yes.
You about blind as I am. I can see this part. I thought I had my glasses on. I wear glasses too.
Right. I had to get a new pair. They ain't coming till next week, so I was like, I can't see nothing.
Yeah.
But you're right. Shout out to everybody who's making the comments. Please forgive me if I don't respond because I just can't read the words. But I don't even know who that is. But I appreciate the fact that you're on here. I represent Team RBG. I represent the Ven-Jah'S. I represent Outlaw RBG. But first and foremost, I represent the Most High and I and the African way. The African way. You know what I mean? I got a song. Is that RBG Patah? Shout out, brother. Yes. I represent the combination of Mayat and voodoo. These are the two things. One to free us, the other one to guide us to the way that we need to go. And Mayat might be Mayat in Kemet, but those same principles is all through Africa.
Yes, they're all they are all, each, when you study those different cultures, whether you study voodoo or voodoo, or you study Kumi, or you study Fataru, or you study Ifa Lekba, you study Ordinani, or whatever, they all have those similar traits in there. It's about character building at the end of the day. So when you talk about my art and you talk about balance and all these other different things, you know what I'm saying? Those are things, of character building, right? And it comes and is exemplified with so many different, it's exemplified with so many different, different things, even though they go by different names, but most of the things are similar. I wrote a book called Beautiful Lessons About Kimoyo. And in that book, I talk about the different elements that makes up African culture and tradition, whether you call it African spirituality, whether you call it African traditional religion, whether you call it what we call it, Kimoyo, or whatever you refer to it is, in those names, they're all similar. You're gonna have rites of passages, you're gonna have ancestor veneration, you're gonna have sacrifice, you're gonna have divination work, right? You're gonna have so many different. You're gonna have different divinities. You're gonna have point of libations. You're gonna have altar. Where you're gonna have so many different. Those things are the different elements that makes up the culture, and all of them are damn near the same. They're less similar, and they use and pull from different things from the natural resources in the ground, because certain things, when you're divining certain things in Nigeria, you might not have those certain things in a Senegal, so Senegal has to use certain other different things, but the cultural things is basically almost, the traditions is basically mirrored almost the same, so it don't matter where you're, South Africa, whether you in East Africa, whether you in North Africa, whether you in West Africa, they damn near all mirror the same.
Right. Shout out to James. Shout out to James Small, Dr. James Small. He was building with us yesterday on that same topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But amazing brother and elder, and you know what I mean. Somebody that.
What was that on yesterday? I seen somebody posted, man.
Listen, he gave Team RBG a special gift and came through and built with us on Pan-Africanism 2025. And it was amazing. You know what I mean? Amazing 3 hours. I might even be playing some of that on the Ven-Jah Radio soon. Soon as I get shout out to Mental Son. You know what I mean? So
he was on here early. Yeah, he was. I think Mental Son was on here earlier, man. And I love that elder, man. I love that elder. I think I spoke to him once briefly. But man, I love that elder. I hope before he leave here that I get a chance, man, to like really build with him. He inspired me over the years and motivated me over the years to do some of the things I have done, some of the things I have accomplished, man. So, and I seen that somebody posted it yesterday online or whatever. I seen all of y'all on the panel when I seen him over there in the left-hand corner. I said, man, look at that. That look like Baba Smalls over there in the corner building with them brothers over there, man. That's all right.
Listen. We was quiet as little kids in the church, you know what I'm saying, on Sunday school, listening to the God build and then say what it was. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing, man.
He was saying Professor James Smalls just said this, bro. Yes, I guess was saying what I was saying or whatever. So, man.
And that's why I had to shout him out. I had to have that conversation because I remember him saying it, man. And we doing the work we supposed to do. And I'm a 70s baby. So
I am too.
Watching what happened in the 70s and pushing forward, you know what I'm saying, to see it, I still got the energy like I'm 22 years old, man. I get it popping. I get on stage, I get it popping. You know what I'm saying? But that's the ancestors coming through me like, nah, we ain't dead. We doing what we're doing. And we about to be in the times where they're cutting all of this out. They're cutting all that, you know what I mean? These European, these colonizers telling you, we don't want you a part of us anymore. But what they forgot is, without us being a part of them, they're going to fall. They're going to fail. They're going to falter. We don't need to be a part of them. We don't need them to recognize Black History Month. We don't need none of that. We do it all on. We've been doing it before they even said anything. Matter of fact, when they say something, they try to usurp it and then use it and capitalize off it. You know what I mean? Stop doing it. Yeah, we don't need that. Matter of fact, we should even stop going to their school. You got Uhuru School Academy. We don't need to go to their school. They graduating people from 0 to 12. So, you know what I mean? We don't need their schooling. We don't need them to recognize us anymore. We'll do better if we recognize us properly and leave them alone. So, you know what I mean? And that was kind of the vibe that he was bringing toward us and letting us know. But that's the vibe Team RBG is on. That's why we organize. That's why we putting this thing together so that people can recognize. And if you're really about your Pan-African people, you know what I'm saying? And you're really about it, you want to get something done right now, or we in the conception stages, but you need to come over there and check it out. It's a process, y'all. It's a process, but it's a good process. And if you know you're worthy, come step through the door. Know thyself. Know that you're an African. You know what I'm saying? We got a song out myself, Nubian Bear, Andre 360, and Red Fidel, all Ven-Jah's. all part of my Ven-Jah squad called I'm Africa. Not even I'm African. I'm Africa. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to go to Nubian Bears page, and pull it out because the YouTube, like they shut it off of my page because we saying that. We having that conversation. We telling you what to do. I'm walking around with my machete. You know what I'm saying? Wait, hold on. Where's my machete? Oh. My fault, y'all. I walk around with my machete. You know what I'm saying? This right here is Ogun. I got another one named Desaline. Desaline is the name of my record company. You know what I'm saying? Record company. Because, you know what I mean? Ogun gonna help me get out, you know what I mean? Form it and form that order. And Desaline gonna get me free. And these are live machetes. They really real. They get sharpened. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my brother Tex Johnson, put me on and got made this for me, put it together. But this is what we do. We are coming together, bringing the old to the now, so the future can be present and represented properly with this proper propaganda. And if you are a proper propagandist, you know what I mean? I salute you, like Malik Kalam says with the Z, and I'm happy to help and do everything I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever you can reach out to me, get in touch with me, and hit me at Sunda Great, SUNDA on Instagram. It's Sundiata, SUNDIATA Brown on Facebook, but it's also Sundiata Brown, the MVE GR8 on YouTube. I got all my videos on there, but you know, just reach out to me. You know what I mean? Plathand, what is it? PlathandEnt@gmail.com is my personal music page, but DJs Radio @gmail.com is where you need to send the music to get played on the station. And we got plenty of space, y'all. We got plenty, 24 hours, 7 days a week. We got plenty of space. Come on through. I'm programming. And you know what I mean? And if I dig you, you getting played. I'm telling you, I'm gonna play you, and not in a bad way, not from the old days. I'm playing, you got played. No, you get played properly. And if you know what I mean, if you get played on my joint, those streams count. They count. They getting registered. So it ain't just, you know what I mean, make sure your ASCAP is right. Make sure your BMI is right. Make sure all that is right. Your sound exchange and all that. Make sure all that's right, because it's what we doing. Shout out to Don for that. You know what I mean? So yeah, brother. You know what I mean? I'm here to help push the mark forward. And Black for me is my acronym is building, liberating alliances, connecting knowledge. That's what Black means for my Moors, for my Moor brothers. You know what I'm saying? For my Moor brothers and sisters, you don't use Black in the law. I got you. But building, liberation, alliance, connecting knowledge, you cannot disagree with that.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, man. I definitely, man, I appreciate you coming on the platform. I appreciate you sharing. I enjoyed the interview, man. I definitely enjoyed the interview. Like I said, I've been looking forward for the interview all week. I knew you was gonna bring that high energy, man. Like you just a real energetic type of person, man. So
that's you delivered. It's the answer. It's the answer, brother.
You delivered, man. You know, you gave out your social handle. So we'll be back next Saturday. I ain't gonna do no I've been doing back-to-back shows, so I got some work to do. I gotta start prepping for my magazine. My magazine take me about 2 or 3 weeks to get done. Because I'm doing it all by myself. But I can tap in Saturday. I'll be interviewing brother Knowledge Born Allah. So brother Knowledge Born Allah be on here. He also part of Team RBG. He hosted one of the mixtapes. I can't remember which one he hosted.
Actually, but he did the red and he did the black. And then, Stigalo did the green. He did the red and the black. Yeah.
Okay. And Stig, who was the other person with Stig? Somebody was on there hosting with Stig.
No, Stigalo's was the only one hosting, but he had DJ Iron Man, Chris Starks.
Yeah, Chris Starks. It was somebody else came on there.
But yeah, he was all the shout out to DJ Obuya, Big Nell, DJ Obuya, shout out to DJ Get Buck. And shout out to DJ Iron Man, Chris Starks. Those are the 3 DJs who put that work in. Put that work in on the gumbo, you know what I mean, on the red, the black, and the green. If you don't got it, go get it. www.teamrbg.com. Go get your gumbo, get your bowl. You're missing it. That's what I'm saying.
No doubt. You won't be disappointed. I guarantee you won't be. No skips. No skips.
Feed the children. You feed the children. You mean that's what it is. They might ask you questions about what they saying afterwards, but it's a perfect time to explain it. Perfect time to explain it. And then if you don't know it and they don't know it, you know what you can do? You can go look it up. You can research it. And then you both know it together. So that gumbo is that. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget, Ven-Jah's got a red, a black, and a green as well. Go to venjahsbandcamp.com, venjahsbandcamp.com, and listen to that. Or listen to Ven-Jah's Radio, because I be playing them zones on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Do all that. Yeah. And soon we're gonna have these shows, Brother Kofi show on Ven-Jah's Radio. That's just what it's gonna be. I'm telling you. That's what we're doing. I'm speaking it into existence.
Oh, it's already done, bro. If you
it's already
know me,
done. See?
Yeah, you
see how fast I work?
Me. Yeah, see
how fast I work? right.
It's already done. You'll be getting them. You'll be getting them this week, probably tomorrow. Or so you'll be getting them tomorrow, and you do whatever you want to do with them, and I'll just keep sharing them to you, giving them to you till you tell me, bro, don't give me no more of these damn shows. Before you get up off of here, though, I want to holler at you about something, man. I'm finna end the live real quick, man. Okay. But appreciate everybody that tuned in. Chat was on fire in here, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate those who gonna go back and listen to it in the archives. We appreciate you as well, man. We'll see y'all this Saturday at 6 p.m. With Knowledge Born. Our live. We got some more lined up that's coming down the pipeline too. So y'all just stay tuned for that, man. We out of here. I'm gonna leave y'all with that high vibing song. We out of here, man. Peace.
Peace, power, salute.
We're about to take this trip down to Atlanta, Georgia. This is my man, Sonny
Great. Together. Outlaw RBG.
And we call this track High
I'm that rich, righteous professor.
Shout out to the bitches.
Vocal expressor.
I see you.
Universal law. I give more to the lesser. My soul glow from them self-control. With the universal flow, explode all contenders. Knowledge unload, expose those offenders. Mileage proven show, you should know your defender. Like them deacons with them able reason, shotgun speaking, bustin' evil, popping off on demons. I'ma say, assalamu alaikum, let loose, street sweeping. We freeing them poor, righteous teaching. This is vintage season, they facing accountability. We achieving that divinity, receiving what we need and completing tranquility. Cultural identity, ancient validity. Commune for the unity, no self, see wealth, nothing new to me. On my Kwame Ture, usually I'm applying that pressure to oppressor till I'm eulogy. High vibing, we still alive in them times when the sisters and brothers are straight dying, fighting for a piece of the pie in a crooked system line. Fly right high. We still alive in them times when the sisters and brothers are straight dying, fighting for a piece of the pie in a crooked system line.
Let's go. Talk to him.
I'm like the training. I hear the trauma from enslavement to my Umi and my Baba and Medulo Oblongata. Yeah, repayment, all you gotta. Feel the pain for the sake, name Sundiata. Hear the cleaning of the karma, claiming them sons and them daughters, feasting off the 400 years of the fears and the slaughter. I'ma turn the tables and the fables like, where's my food and water? Reclaiming resources of a true world order. We order one rusted dough with a black fist full of dough and a list of what they owe before we exit this corruption at the cold. Exodus, interruption from what's in store, so no. They don't plan to ever let us go. I come to take it any way we get it. It's legal or illegal, long as most high permitted. On my direct rate solution for a minute. Entrepreneurship over employment for that pivot. And we win when we never give in to they gimmicks. I'm a God, master impression, never measure my limit. Tester of the level, vibratory story on exhibit. I don't entertain the lame when I give it. I shed shame, impress oppressor when I live it. Not trying to impress the oppressor when I spit it, huh? High vibing, we still alive in them times when it's